And this is the time where oil will matter more than money. Oil will matter more than money, more than your legs. Oil will matter more than your six pack. Oil will matter more than your car. So there is a thing that you will need. Even if you are rich, your money can fail. You're not getting this. You can be in any argument with somebody, and that person says, for this issue to be over, just give me my 20,000 and that's it. We are God. You delay by 1 minute, and the person says, the 20,000 I no longer need. I just want to pick you up and mess up your whole family. Your money can fail. 1 Corinthians 2 verse number 1. And brethren, when I came unto you, came not with excellence of speech or of wisdom, declaring unto you the testing of God. Say, I did not come to you with excellence of speech. Are you still here? 2 Corinthians 10 verse number 10. For his letter say they. How many remember that verse? Say, when they look on the letters of Paul, they say they are weighty and powerful. But when you see him in bodily presence, he is weak, and his speech contemptible. In other words, Paul was so dangerous that when you write a letter, you look at the letter and think wise. But if you see him in body, he was weak. That means Paul did something about bodily presence. I hear you are not here. In a few minutes you'll get me. I want to see something here. Number 1, there is a bodily presence that also brings a certain level of vigor and power. But then there is something that is not noticeable by the eye. We call it the oil of God. I have a strange feeling that after I finish ministering here, your oil will be visible to your enemies. Your oil will be visible to everybody. And don't take this as a form of preaching. When you come out of this preach, make sure you know you got oil. The woman had an alabaster box of oil, full of oil, that she worked for almost a year wage. That means she had to go out there every night to find a man. And the disciples are arguing that we should not get our master anointed using this oil. Not because it's holy and holy, but because it is a man called Judas who wanted the money. And the Bible says, he says this not because he loved the poor, but because he used to help himself with the money that was in the bag. Imagine what would it take to get an accountant for 3 years, and you know the accountant is stealing money, and you still keep him as an accountant. I mean, you got cash. The day you find your accountant is a thief, that's the day you fire him. Jesus said, let him continue. That won't finish nothing. Because this money is not coming from there. There's a oil. There's a certain oil you need. Shout, give me oil. The problem why they fight you and yet they're not winning. The problem why they even start the battle is because they don't know the cost of the oil in the alabaster box. They don't know the cost. They don't know what you had to give up in order to be here. They don't know what you say and know what in order to be here. How much is your alabaster box of oil? How much? What have you given up in order to get here? There are positions, brothers and sisters, where your money is not needed, where your degree is not needed, where your certificate is never in question. Nobody wants to hear what you did in school. Nobody wants to hear which family you come from. All that matters in that moment is oil. I speak to somebody under the influence of my voice. I'm not discounting your school. I'm not discounting your degree or certificate. In this place we are learned. You're a profiteer. So don't think we're discounting education. No, ma'am, no, sir. We are very way up there. But the reality is, we know that there is a time when your degree does not matter. When what you did in school does not matter. And all you got to do is, I got oil. You don't know the cost of the oil in my oil buster box. Wake up, brother. You don't know what is needed. I see your CV. In places, only those with degrees. I know you're not hearing me. And for those of you that believe you can be beautiful and you look in the mirror and you see your beautiful face, there is a location where your beauty will not count. Even that men you thought was going to love you and marry for your beauty will leave you for an ugly woman with oil. I knew you were not hearing what I'm talking about. Listen, I make jokes a lot. Now hear this. Hi, I'm in Britain. And Pastor Felix said, I have a young man here who is always giving. And is every time I'm in need. This is the guy who comes through. I said, okay, what do you want me to pray for him? No, he said, no, he has been declared dead at the hospital. I said, what? Raise your hand. Being a graduate did not matter. Felix did not call me because I'm a graduate. He was looking for oil. There is a time it doesn't matter. You see, he has his own business. He does not work for his church, So I just see him around every time. So behind, I just dipped in my thoughts. I think he just became a protocol because he's afraid of dying a second time without being around. Oil. I said oil. Oil. There's sacrifices we have to make. Smith Wigglesworth saw a man in the crowds, his stomach big like this, a tumor, and the doctor said just a few days to live. Smith Wigglesworth comes in and sees the man and says, come here. He hit him in the stomach. And everyone went exactly like he just did. He went back for the same guy. And a man says, son of the devil, why are you hitting people who are sick? And the man turned around to leave and said, Smith Wigglesworth said again, you mind your business. I know my business. Within a few days, cancer was no more. It doesn't make sense. Why would you pick up people? An individual found themselves at the very end of his fist, dead. grab the dead body, put it against the wall. Imagine people are at the funeral and a man grabs dead person, put him at the wall. Does it make sense? It doesn't. But in the oil side of things, it makes a lot of sense. You'll start to do things that they'll be shocked with. Because oil will rely on is oil. I speak by the authority of the Spirit. You're about to move to higher levels now. Thanks. Thank you for watching. Don't be selfish. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. God bless you. Thank you.